bring you today's play of the game. From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
First pitch, and Tatis gets a breaking ball, hits it in the air, deep to center field. Myers is back at the wall. This one, gonna go! Fernando again! A go-ahead solo shot with 2 outs in the 7th inning. And the Padres lead it 3-2. He is homered for the 2nd consecutive night, and he has scored all 3 Padre runs here today.
Fernando Tatis Jr. strikes again, and he wills the Padres to a 3-2 win in Houston on this Sunday. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. The final score in Houston, Texas, as the Padres avoid a 3-game sweep at the hands of the Houston Astros. The Padres 3 and the Astros 2. Welcome into our Jamul Casino Resort postgame show. Hey, player, when it comes to giving you what you want, Jamul Casino Resort isn't playing around. It's way more than a place to game. It's a place where you can stay and play in every possible way. Jamul Casino Resort, the player's place. A really nice and much needed 3-2 win for the Padres here tonight. We'll have all the radio highlights for you. We will go back to Dyken Park in Houston, hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. And before we get into the ball game, obviously, our best wishes, our prayers are with Luis Arraez, who went through that very, very scary collision in the first inning. The latest update we have from the Padres, this was put out at 4:51 p.m., just a little while after Luis had the collision. He was put on a backboard, stabilized, carted off the field. Padres telling us that Arraez was transported to Houston Methodist Hospital for further evaluation. He is currently stable, conscious, responsive, and able to move his extremities. So the updates we've got so far have been positive about Luis Arraez, and hopefully we'll hear the latest from Mike Shildt coming up in just a little bit. But again, before we get to the baseball game and what was a really, really good win for the Padres here tonight, our best wishes to Luis Arraez, one of the terrific guys inside that Padres clubhouse, and you certainly hope Luis is okay after what was a very scary situation in that first inning. As far as the baseball game itself, Fernando Tatis Jr. willed the Padres to a win here today. He was involved in all 3 runs the Padres scored. Leadoff walk in the first inning. Then we had that scary moment with Arraez, was a sac bunt for Luis. Fernando goes up to second, ultimately comes home, scores the game's first run. Fernando hits a triple in the third, comes home on a Gavin Sheets RBI single. And then the biggest swing of the night, Fernando Tatis Jr., a go-ahead solo home run in the 7th inning, a 2-out bomb to left center at Dyken Park in Houston. Fernando's National League leading 8th home run of the season, no doubt the biggest swing of the evening, and that was the big swing of the game. Gave the Padres a 3-2 lead, and they go on to win by that final score. So you can slice this game up in a number of different ways. We'll get into some different aspects of it, but make no mistake, Fernando Tatis Jr., with what he did here tonight, and especially that home run to break a 2-2 tie in the 7th inning, Fernando willed this Padres team to a much-needed win in Houston tonight. Padres improved to 16-6 on the year. Astros dropped to 10-11. Couple of other things to mention from this game before we get to the radio highlights and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Everything coming up in just a little bit. Dylan Cease, good in this game. 5 innings. Certainly wished he would have gone a little bit longer in this game, ideally. But I'll tell you what, a 2-0 lead in the bottom half of the 5th inning, got into trouble, gave up a lot of soft contact in that 5th inning. It was a bit of an unlucky half inning for Dylan Cease, and he was able to get out of that inning with only 2 runs given up, and the game still tied at 2. And I thought at the time that was a really, really big deal for the Padres to get out of that 5th inning, really dangerous inning with the score still tied at 2. So was Dylan, the best version of himself tonight? Have we seen that yet? Not really, but you know what? 5 innings, 2 runs given up. And sometimes in the course of a start, it's not about the final line. It's about situation. And it was a 2-2 game. Dylan able to get out of that inning with the game still tied at 2, manage the damage in that 5th. And for that reason, I really liked what Dylan Cease did here tonight, and especially limiting it to 2 runs in that 5th inning. And then what more can you say about the Padres bullpen? Alec Jacob, inning and a third scoreless. Jason Adam, my goodness, in the 8th inning, ends up having a base runner on after a drop third strike. So then he's dealing ultimately with the runner on second base, tying run in the 8th inning, gets a huge strikeout of Victor Caratini to get out of the inning, keep it a 3-2 Padres lead. And then Robert Suarez continues to be absolutely terrific. I mean, he was dialing up the absolute gas in those last couple of batters. He struck out Yainer Diaz, the pinch hitter for Houston, to end the game on a 101.5 mile per hour fastball. Cam Smith lined out on a 100 mile an hour fastball. He hit 99.9, 100 on the strikeout to begin the inning of Jake Myers. I mean, Robert Suarez was throwing heat, and he got it done. 1-2-3, 9th inning as he continues his stellar start to the season, and the Padres bullpen continues to be stellar. And again, you felt like the Padres really needed this win, I think, for 2 reasons. Number one, coming in, they had lost 2 in a row, all of a sudden dealing with a ton of injuries. Jason Hayward going on the IL yesterday. They're without Jackson Merrill. They're without Jake Cronenworth. Before even the Luis Arraez situation happened, they needed a win today. They really did. Injuries starting to pile up. 2 tough losses in Houston, facing a really good starting pitcher in Framber Valdez, and they found a way today to get a win and move on to Detroit. They still have, even after today, the best record in baseball at 16-6, despite these mounting injuries. And obviously, after that really scary situation with Luis Arraez, look, you wanted to get a win today. You wanted something to feel a little bit good about. Again, you hope Luis is okay as he possibly can be. We'll see what the updates are by the end of tonight on Luis Arraez. But, man, you really wanted a win for this team. Fernando Tatis Jr. made it happen. The go-ahead home run in the 7th inning to make it 3-2. The Padres go on to win by that final score. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have the radio highlights. We'll also hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt coming up in just a little bit as well. Final score on this Sunday, Padres 3 and the Astros 2. Our post-game coverage continues after this on the Padres Radio Network.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that
Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Final score in Houston, the Padres 3 and the Astros 2. Sam Levitt back with you inside our San Diego studios. We'll go back to Houston, hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. We have our play of the game, catch of the game, relief pitcher of the game, full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, your phone calls, and much, much more to come. And again, I'm sure we'll hear more from Mike Shildt about the status of Luis Arraez, but I do have what I would say is a positive update. Kevin Acee of the San Diego Union Tribune tweeting out 6 minutes ago that Luis Arraez just walked into the Padres clubhouse. So that certainly, in my mind, seems positive. Luis is out of the hospital and into the Padres clubhouse. So again, we'll see what the update is on Luis Arraez when Mike Shildt speaks with the media, and stay tuned for that. We'll have that for you coming up in just a little bit. Padres trying to avoid a sweep as they showed up at the ballpark today. Let's recap this one from start to finish.
Which moments determine the outcome of today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game highlights on the Padres Radio Network.
Left-hander Framber Valdez took the mound for the Astros in the top of the first inning. He walked Fernando Tatis Jr. Luis Arraez then laid down a drag bunt on the first base side. The Astros first baseman Christian Walker picked it up, threw to the covering second baseman Mauricio Dubon just after the first base bag. Dubon and Arraez had a big collision. Luis was clearly hurt right away. He went to the ground and laid on his back for some time. Arraez ultimately was stabilized, put onto a backboard, and carted off the field. And again, the latest update we had, Kevin Acee saying Luis Arraez just walked into the Padres clubhouse. And again, the Padres during the game saying that Arraez had been transported to Houston Methodist Hospital for further evaluation, currently stable, conscious, responsive, and able to move his extremities. It was a very, very scary moment. Best wishes to Luis Arraez. And we'll hear what Mike Shildt has to say about him coming up. Padres would grab a run in that top of the first inning after the game stopped due to an injury. Runners on first and second with one out. Xander Bogaerts at the plate.
Here's the 0-1. Bogaerts hits it on the ground off the mound right to the second baseman. Dubon hits the bag one. On to first low. Walker can't handle it. Fernando going to try and score, and he will. Christian Walker, usually so short-handed, made the great catch in the ninth inning last night, but couldn't handle that hop, and Fernando running aggressively, able to score the first run of the night.
That's all the Padres scored in the opening frame. Dylan Cease got off to a great start, 6 up, 6 down through 2 innings to begin his day. In the top of the third, Fernando Tatis Jr. led off with a triple into the right field corner. Gavin Sheets, who had replaced Arraez in the DH spot, was next.
Now Gavin Sheets pinch hitting for the injured Arraez. He swings at the first pitch, grounds into the right side, deflected by Walker, trickles out into right field, and Fernando will score. Astros had the infield in. Sheets made contact. Walker dove for it, and an RBI single to make it 2-0.
That's all the Padres scored in the top half of the third. Dylan Cease gave up a couple of singles in the bottom half of the inning, but he got out of the jam and left 2 on base. Cease kept it a 2-0 Padres lead with a scoreless fourth inning, but Cease ran into major trouble in the bottom of the fifth inning. Jake Myers hit a leadoff double. Cam Smith singled. That sent Myers to third base. Mauricio Dubon was next.
And the pitch to Dubon is just kind of poked in the air behind second. Iglesias trying to track it down. He knocks it down with the glove, but can't make the catch. Myers will race home to score, and the Astros are on the board here in the bottom of the fifth.
Later in the inning, the bases were loaded for Yordan Alvarez. He hit a sac fly to right. That tied the game at 2. Cease would get through the inning with the game tied at 2. Dylan Cease went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, 6 hits on 88 pitches. So we were tied at 2. Valdez threw a scoreless top of the 6th inning. Alec Jacob came in from the Padres bullpen, and he threw a scoreless bottom of the inning. In the top of the 7th inning, the Astros went to right-hander Taylor Scott. He got the first 2 outs, including a great catch from Jake Myers in center, a catch in deep center, crashing up against the fence and taking away an extra base hit from Martin Maldonado. So a 2-2 game. Fernando Tatis Jr. stepping to the plate. Fernando dug in, and he made sure no one could catch this one.
First pitch, and Tatis gets a breaking ball, hits it in the air, deep to center field. Myers is back at the wall. This one, gonna go! Fernando again! A go-ahead solo shot with 2 outs in the 7th inning. And the Padres lead it 3-2. He is homered for the second consecutive night, and he has scored all 3 Padre runs here today.
Fernando's 8th home run of the season. It was a big one. That now leads the National League, his 8 home runs. 3-2 Padres in front. Alec Jacob and Jason Adam combined to throw a scoreless bottom half of the 7th inning. Padres still led just 3-2. Going bottom 8. Jason Adam had to deal with a base runner after Jeremy Pena reached on a drop third strike. He had a runner on second base with 2 outs later in the inning, but Adam got a huge strikeout to end the inning and get out of the jam, with the Padres still ahead 3-2. Padres weren't adding on. They still led just 3-2, going bottom 9. Robert Suarez came on, trying to finish off what would be a big win for the Padres. He struck out Jake Myers. Yuli Gurriel then made an outstanding diving catch and a line drive at first base for out number 2. We'll hear that call coming up a little bit later. The game was left up to Astros pinch hitter Yainer Diaz.
Suarez set and ready. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the pinch hitter Diaz, and a swing and a miss. Faced another triple-digit heater. 102 from Robert Suarez to end the game. A 1-2-3 ninth, and Suarez stays perfect on the season. Padres a 3-2 win here in Houston.
Robert Suarez now a perfect 9 for 9 in save opportunities this season. Like Jesse said, 102 on the final pitch of the game. What a start to the year for Robert Suarez, and a really good, much-needed win for the Padres in Houston. Final score, Padres 3 and the Astros 2. Padres improved to 16-6. Astros dropped to 10-11. Winning pitcher in this game, Alec Jacob, who pitched an inning and a third scoreless, and the Padres scoring 3 runs on 10 hits, no errors. Astros 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. And now the Padres continue this 6-game road trip to Detroit. We'll have more on that game coming up much, much later on in our post-game coverage. Still to come, we'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. We have a relief pitcher of the game, play of the game, catch of the game. We will get to your phone calls coming up a little bit later at 833-288-0973. Again, phone number is always to dial 833-288-0973. If you would rather get involved on social media, you can do that by finding me on X or Instagram at Sammy Lev, SAMMYLEV. Again, SAMMYLEV. If you're watching on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel, hello. And you can comment on there. May just read your post-game reaction at some point live here on the air. Padres beat the Astros 3-2 on this Sunday. Our post-game coverage continues after this. Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. Final score in Houston today, Padres 3 and the Astros 2 as the Padres salvage the finale of this 3-game series. Lot to do on our postgame coverage. We'll hear from Mike Shildt in just a moment. We'll have a relief pitcher of the game, catch of the game, play of the game, full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, all coming your way. Take your phone calls at 833-288-0973 coming up in just a little bit as well. Military Sunday on the Padres Radio Network is presented by your San Diego Toyota Dealers Association. Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care no-cost maintenance standard, so you get peace of mind standard. Padres with a very, very big win. Fernando Tatis Jr. breaking a 2-2 tie with that go-ahead home run in the 7th inning, his 8th home run of the season. He now leads the National League with 8 home runs. And obviously, we will hear the update from Mike Shildt in just a second on Luis Arraez, who had that very, very scary collision at first base in the 1st inning. Luis being put on a backboard, stabilized, carted off the field, and taken to a local Houston hospital. Like we told you before the break, Kevin Acee reporting on Twitter, Kevin Acee of the San Diego Union Tribune, that Luis is back inside the Padres clubhouse. So with all that in mind, let's go back to Daikin Park in Houston and hear from Mike Shildt.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt, served up by Sin Lee Food, where fresh meets flavor. Find farm fresh produce, bold Asian spices, and gourmet ingredients at 4665 El Cajon Boulevard. Sin Lee Food, the cook's Asian resource.
Mike, we start with good news.
Yeah, I mean, best case scenario with Luis, obviously very scary. We think he's, for the most part, out of the woods. More time will tell. But, you know, the initial testing is very favorable. No fractures of any sort. I mean, he got a little bit of laceration on his jawline, so worried about his jaw, worried about his cervical region. Everything clear, stable on the initial testing. You know, we've been burned before on testing, so we'll be cautiously optimistic. You know, he did have a period where he wasn't aware where he was, so that's clearly concerning. But everything's coming back to him now, and, you know, his initial testing from a concussion standpoint is favorable, but, you know, clearly we're not out of the woods, and but it, you know, all things considered, it's a blessing.
Was that period of not knowing where he was that while on the field?
Yes, sir.
Like sometimes when the team is down, the whole team, like, you know, get a bunch of contributions, and on some nights there's a guy who has an incredible game that you talk about. That guy tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a cut. You know, I think you're alluding to Toddy, but there's a lot of heroes in this one. You know, big picture comments is, you know, what a heart this group's got. You know, they love each other. You know, we love Louis, big part of our club, and, you know, the way the guys respond with the heart they had. You know, Manny fouls 2 balls off his foot. And, you know, guys beat their tails off tonight, and you know, it was a hard-fought series, hard-fought ball game, and found a way to win it. And, you know, I believe who you're alluding to is Toddy. You know, very special talent, clearly, that it's on display in every area. You know, clearly a huge homer to give us the lead. You know, scores on the ball that Sheetsy comes in, does a good job, takes great at-bats. Is able to come around, wheel around that ball. You know, the ball kicks off, and he's able to score. He's just, you know, makes the play, and I believe it was the 6th, and I don't know how he throws from that position with anything on it, much less very accurately, but somehow he does it. So it's a special talent is on display tonight that is a privilege for the game to watch.
Dylan, for that inning that kind of got away, it looked like he made some good pitches, and they got some. You know, what did you see?
Exactly that. You know, Myers gets the ball on the line. Smith, you know, bloops one end to the outfield. You know, we get a ball that, you know, makes a great pitch on that, you know, is able just to get past Iglesias. And so, you know, you got a decision to make at that point in the game. But, you know, you start to it's sometimes the results are real. They're out there. The bases are loaded, and, you know, there's not any anybody out, but you look it up and the guy's still throwing 99. Slider's still good. A lot of quality pitches. He's going through the order the third time through, but you trust him and him able to do some damage control against a really tough part of their lineup. To leave it at 2 was the big story of the game.
Pointing back from Machado in the first, what were you thinking 10 pitches after he fouls the ball off his foot? You have to go look at that.
I think we both, I can't speak for Manny, just get the at-bat over with, man. He's got a ball mark, on his foot. He's got another seam mark and then a blue mark on his foot, literally 3/8 of an inch apart from the, back-to-back pitches. And he's like, oh, my God, man. Like, what do we got to do, right? It's like, but needed some time and was able to stay with it and, have a good at-bat. But really, really indicative of how tough this club is.
You spoke to kind of the heart and responding after Luis, but to respond after 2 losses, keep losing players. I just wondered how big to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm, alluding to in my comments. It's just the heart of this club. I mean, listen, it's a talented group, but this game. The thing that separates a lot of teams, and and this team, I always speak about this team, is the dedication, heart for competition and each other. And no one's going to feel sorry for us, and we're not going to feel sorry for ourselves. Like I said, we're going to love on the guys that aren't here and aren't on the field with us, and support them like crazy. But we also know we have a job to get done, and somebody's going to get it done. And tonight it was a lot of different guys. I mean, we swung the bats extremely well. And right after the game, Victor's like, we had 18 hard hit balls. We were lasers all over the place. And, they played good. It's a good series, man. They played really well. But you look up and now Jacob, with Estrada down and Howard gets to the 6th. And we know because, having gone for a couple of days with Adam and Suarez 4 and 3 down that, we can get multiples. And, Jason was fishing for 2 quick outs in the 7th for 8 pitches and was able to make pitches and, big at bat obviously with Caratini and Suarez, cut through and got it done 1, 2, 3.
That was Padres manager Mike Shildt. After today's game in Houston, Padres win it 3-2 against the Astros. We'll talk about what Mike Shildt had to say in just a moment. First, let's pause for station ID on the Padres radio network.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
Hey, this is Dylan Cease. You're listening to Padres Baseball on the Padres Radio Network.
And Odyssey Sports Station.
Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios as we continue to wrap this one up. Padres now 16-6 on the year, still the best record in Major League Baseball, despite losing the first 2 games of this 3-game series. Astros dropped to 10-11. We heard from Mike Shildt there in Houston at Daikin Park. So first, the latest on Luis Arraez. Mike Shildt saying initial testing is favorable. There was a period of time where Luis didn't know where he was on the field. Very scary. Concussion testing also at this point favorable, but I would assume this is something that is a little bit fluid, and we'll see how Luis feels over the course of the next day or so. But does sound like it's pretty best case scenario. No fractures with the initial testing. Does have apparently a cut on his jaw, but initial testing again sounding favorable for Luis Arraez. So considering how scary that looked, anytime a player really in any sport has to get put into a collar and stabilized and on a backboard and carted off the field, it is really, really scary. And it seems like, at least for the moment, this is best case scenario where Luis is relatively okay. And again, testing is initially favorable, according to Mike Shildt. So we'll see what the updates are on Luis in the days to come. But thankfully, again, favorable with the initial testing. As far as this game, we said it in the opening segment, Fernando Tatis Jr., to me, willed this team to a much-needed win. And it was much needed even before the game started, losing 2 games in Houston. You had Dylan Cease on the mound today facing a great left-hander and Framber Valdez on the other side for the Astros. But as this game went along, and you see what happens to Arraez and the injuries now continuing to mount. You just go through the list of Merrill and Cronenworth and Lockridge and Hayward. And now we'll see what the status is for Luis Arraez in the coming days. I mean, just in the last couple of weeks, the injuries mounting, this team continuing to win games at a very high rate despite the injuries. You just felt like this was a really, really much needed win, especially after Fernando hit the home run. Like the Padres really had to have this game, and they got it. Let's talk about Fernando Tatis Jr. because he's now in the midst of a 21-game on-base streak to begin his season. 358 batting average, 8 home runs now lead the National League, 16 RBIs, 7 stolen bases, an 1127 OPS, a 691 slugging percentage. And it wasn't just about the home run tonight. He played a role in each of the 3 runs the Padres scored in this game. Leadoff walk to begin the game against Valdez, ultimately comes around to score with the game's first run. A triple in the third, scores on Gavin Sheets' RBI single. And by the way, a tip of the cap to Gavin Sheets, who comes off the bench when Arraez had to come out, comes through with a big RBI single in this game to make it a 2-0 game at the time. And then obviously the biggest swing of the night, Fernando hitting the home run in the 7th inning to give the Padres a 3-2 lead. So just all the way around, a terrific performance by Fernando Tatis Jr. as he continues to put together just an MVP type start to his season. And he was a major factor in this win here tonight. An update, further update on Luis Arraez. This is from Kevin Acee in the San Diego Union Tribune on X. Kevin tweeting, whatever they call it these days. Luis Arraez will stay in Houston tonight, provided he feels okay. He will join the team in Detroit tomorrow morning. Kevin also writing, he is smiling and talking with teammates. So more good news on the Luis Arraez front. Luis has that infectious smile. Good to hear he's got it on in the clubhouse after that very scary situation earlier today. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have our relief pitcher of the game. We'll talk more about what the Padres bullpen did. If you want to get a phone call in, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Phone number to call as always as the Padres win it 3-2 in Houston. Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues after this. Welcome back to the Jamul Casino Resort postgame show, brought to you by the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. As we continue to wrap this one up, Padres beat the Houston Astros by a final score of 3-2. As the Padres avoid a sweep, they salvage the finale of this three-game series, and now it's on to Detroit. We'll have more on that series opener against the Tigers coming up in just a little bit. Full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, our play of the game, our catch of the game coming up in just a bit. We'll also get to your phone calls, 833-288-0973. Phone number to call as always, again, 833-288-0973. We've got people waiting on hold, so we'll get to you in just a little bit, I promise. First, let's tell you about tonight's relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher entered the game and slammed the door shut? This is today's relief pitcher of the game, presented by David P. Shapiro Criminal Defense Attorneys. When your freedom and future are on the line, you need the best arm in the pen. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Caratini. Adam will look at McCormick. Now the pitch. It is taken over the heart of the plate. Strike 3 called. Throws him with a breaking ball, and that ends the 8th inning. Jason Adam gets 5 outs here tonight, and we head to the 9th.
No doubt about it here tonight. Jason Adam, our relief pitcher of the game. He was stellar. Inning and 2/3 scoreless, 25 pitches, got the final 2 outs of the 7th inning, and then pitched a scoreless 8th inning, stranding the tying run on second base, striking out Victor Caratini in that 8th inning to end that threat. That's the highlight you just heard there from Jesse. But no doubt tonight, Jason Adam was stellar, especially in that 8th inning, considering the base runner, Pena, the first one of the inning, got on a strikeout. Dropped third strike, wild pitch, got away, went to the backstop or towards the backstop, far enough away from Martin Maldonado where Pena raced to first base, then a fielder's choice off the bat of Christian Walker. So he was on first base with 2 outs. The Astros then pinch ran Chaz McCormick in that spot. McCormick steals second base. So all of a sudden, tying run on second without the benefit of a base hit, and Jason Adam bounced back the strikeout Caratini looking and end that 8th inning. He continues to be terrific. Now 11 appearances on the early season, 0.75 ERA, 12 innings, just 5 hits given up. Jason Adams, stellar tonight, inning and 2/3 scoreless on a very, very good night for the Padres bullpen. Speaking of the bullpen, Robert Suarez was on the mound in the 9th inning. Robert has also been terrific to begin the season, but he needed a little help in the 9th inning from his defense. Let's hear our catch of the game.
Which defensive play had the biggest impact on today's game?
He is at the wall, leaps up, and he makes the catch.
This is the catch of the game.
Gonna hang a star for Jackson Merrill.
Reeled in by Anthony's Fish Grotto La Mesa, celebrating 80 years of seafood excellence.
Oh, now nobody on. The 3-2 line sharply and caught by Gurriel, diving towards the line at first base, and 2 away here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Our catch of the game, Yuli Gurriel making an outstanding catch at first base in the 9th inning. He doesn't get that. Might be extra bases for Cam Smith, put the tying run in scoring position, but Gurriel saying no at first base. That was a great play for out number 2. Biggest defensive play of the evening for the Padres, and Yuli Gurriel at 40 years old making our catch of the game. By the way, the bullpen here tonight, I mean, what more can you say? Just terrific once again. Alec Jacob, Jason Adam, Robert Suarez combining for 4 scoreless innings out of the pen. They allowed just 1 hit. They struck out a grand total of 5. They didn't walk anybody. So well-deserved win for Alec Jacob as this pen was handed a 1-run lead, and they made it stand up here tonight. After Dylan Cease went 5 innings, 2 runs given up. Again, the 2 runs coming in the 5th inning. I said a little bit earlier, I'll say it again. Dylan wasn't at his absolute best tonight, but the thing he did in that 5th inning, which was good, didn't allow that inning to explode, right? Kept it at 2, kept it a tie game, and ultimately gave the Padres an opportunity to go on and win this game 3-2. Phone number to call, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Why don't we go to the phones on this Sunday evening? We begin things here tonight on the telephone with Mike calling in from Mission Valley. Mike, you're on the Padres Radio Network. Go ahead.
Hey, Sammy, good win today. Obviously on our way to Detroit. Need to get started early on that one on the series. But, I just got some major concerns. I've been watching the last year and a half pretty intently. And the same clutch players continue to be carrying our team. Fernando, Merrill, they are the real leaders. I hate to put Machado down in a second level, but and not necessarily calling him out, but man, that contract is huge, and we need clutch hitting. Now, he had a struggle tonight. He got hit in the foot. I get it. But the consistent ongoing bullpen that continues to keep us in, the same routine guys that are here clutching up, Merrill and Arraez and Sheets and Fernando carrying this team. Where are the rest of these guys? Either or bring this youth movement up.
Mike, here's my thing, though. The names you just mentioned right there, Tatis, Merrill, Arraez. Look, I disagree with you. I think Manny's had a lot of big hits when you go back to the second half last year and even early this season. Those are the guys that are, top of the order, middle of the order type guys that are going to get your big hits. You just named most of them. All right. Mike? Okay. All right. I don't know where Mike went, but look, I think Manny's had a lot of big hits early this season. And Manny had a lot of big hits in the second half of last season. Quite frankly, second half of last season, playing with the elbow, coming off the elbow surgery. I really think Manny's had a lot of big hits for this team. And look, the other guys that Mike mentioned, those are the guys that you pay to get big hits, guys like Fernando and Merrill and Arraez. So I'm not totally sure what the issue is. Look, and none of these guys are going anywhere, even if you have a problem with them anyway. So not totally sure what the issue was, but we move along. Let's go to another Mike in San Diego. Mike, you're on the Padres Radio Network. Go ahead.
Hey, Sammy, thanks for taking the call. I appreciate it. I want to talk about the play tonight where Arraez got hurt. I watched it over and over again, and I got to say that it's kind of a bonehead play by Dubon. I looked at the throw to see if the throw carried him across the bag. The throw was on the left side of first base.
Yeah.
I thought Dubon had plenty of time to stop. It was unnecessary for him to overrun the base. And I'm going to say it was a dirty play because it wasn't. It didn't look, malicious, but it was completely ill-advised. And I was just wondering if the Padres might retaliate a little bit in that game. Now, the game was 3-2. It was a little bit close, and you couldn't afford it probably at that. But that might be one they may file in their memory bank down the road, because that was not a good play by Dubon.
Yeah, Mike, look, with Dubon, I appreciate the phone call. I don't think there was any intent by any means for Mauricio Dubon. Now, his momentum clearly took him behind first base. It was an unfortunate play. I don't think there was any intent, obviously. Now, if you want to say Dubon has to have a little bit more awareness there of where Luis is and the potential of that collision, that might be a little fair. Like, could he have caught that ball, stepped on the bag, and then instead of kind of letting his momentum carry him behind first base, could he kind of have at least tried a little bit to pull away like you sometimes see, normal first basemen do? Keep in mind, Dubon is a second baseman going over to make that play at first base. So he's not necessarily accustomed to going that way and then having to stop on a dime. Look, I certainly understand if you look at it and you say, hey, he's got to at least try to get out of the way, but am I going to fault him for his momentum carrying him over into that spot? It's a tough call for me as I look at that replay. Again, I don't think there was any intent, but if you looked at it and you said, hey, he's got to have a little bit more awareness of where he is and not at least make an attempt to kind of pull away there instead of letting his momentum carry him behind the bag like that. Look, I suppose you can have that take. It was unfortunate. Look, again, he kind of allowed his momentum to carry him behind the bag, and it was just, wrong place, wrong time, and a really hard collision. Unfortunately, I don't think there was any intent by it. I'll be interested to see if Luis has anything to say about it. I didn't think there was going to be any retaliation, especially in a close game. And again, we didn't hear anything after the game from Mike Shildt that would, or at any point really tonight when he talked on TV, it really at any point, that they were bothered by it. So it was an unfortunate play. It was a real bang play at first base. Again, you look at it, you're like, could he have tried a little bit to at least like kind of stop himself at first base and pull the other way? Sure. Is that realistic when you've got a second baseman moving that way with his momentum going towards the line? It may have been a little inevitable, just again, bang play, unfortunate timing, and an unfortunate collision. But obviously there was no intent there, at least in my opinion, from Mauricio Dubon. Let's go to Sebastian calling in. Sebastian, you're on the Padres radio network. Go ahead.
Hey, good evening. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, you know what? The first strike is correct. You get down to the bottom of the lineup, and you have Oscar Gonzalez. He's automatic out. Okay, and then you have Jose Iglesias. He bats more like Julio Iglesias. It's terrible bottom of the lineup. It's automatic outs. We have to do something.
Sebastian, Sebastian, they got a ton of injuries right now. What do you suggest they do?
No, I know, but I mean, Iglesias, he's pointless right at this point. There's got to be something better in the minor leagues. Has to be, right? Anyone. But I'm telling you, I mean, it's going to catch up to us. Detroit is not an easy team. I watch a lot of baseball. I listen to a lot of baseball, and we're missing their best pitchers. But we got lucky. But Detroit's a very, very good team. In fact, I picked them to win the American League this year. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to be easy, but let's go Padres. Hopefully we can at least win 2 out of 3.
Well, I agree with you there. It's going to be a hard series because Detroit's a good team, and you got to go on the road and face them, and the Padres are really banged up. Look, I like Jose Iglesias a lot. I know he hasn't hit a ton yet, but this is a guy who's a pro hitter, hit a lot last year for the Mets. He's just getting into the swing of playing every day right now with Jake Cronenworth on the IL. I'm not going to bury Jose Iglesias yet. Look, Oscar Gonzalez has been up for 2 seconds. Look, Yuli Gurriel had a base hit today, made a great play at first base, has not hit a ton. The bottom line is this. I don't think there's going to be sweeping changes at the bottom of this order. I think the Padres are going to have to survive a little bit until these guys get back, until Jackson gets back, until Jake gets back. I mean, it's really tough when you're basically without, 3 starters right now. Hayward was starting most days. Like, that's hard. Lockridge, was serviceable at kind of filling in, playing some center. They're in a tough spot right now. And Sebastian, to be honest with you, I don't think there's anybody, down at AAA who they are, no disrespect to any of those guys at AAA, who they are, itching to bring up. There's no huge prospects on the way in that sense sitting at AAA. It's just not the state of the system. So I got to tell you, I just think it's going to kind of be what it is until some of these guys get back. It just is. And they're going to have to find a way like they did tonight to get through it for the next, I would say, week, 2 weeks. They're going to have to find a way. They just are. Now, the good news is they banked some wins. They're 16-6. I get it. They lost 2 out of 3. You want to go win a series. Hopefully you make it a 3-3 road trip, or even better if you can. But, to me, they're going to just have to find a way. And the bottom of the lineup is not going to be, for a lot of the fans out there, ideal for a little bit. But that's a function of the injuries. I don't really know what else they're supposed to do when you have these number of injuries pile up in a short period of time. It's going to take a hit with your lineup. So to me, they got to do what they did today. Get good starting pitching. Bullpen's got to continue to be really good. And they need their stars to be stars. You got to have Fernando do things like he did tonight. Manny and Arraez, hopefully, when he's back, and Bogarts. And, they're going to have to lead the way. There's no doubt about that. All right, let's step aside. When we come back, our play of the game, catch of the game, may squeeze in another phone call or two, wrap things up, get you ready for tomorrow's series opener in Detroit. Final score, Padres 3, Astros 2. Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues after this.
Stay tuned to the Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show. Brought to you by the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. The Players.
Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios as we continue to wrap this one up. Padres win it 3-2 against the Houston Astros on this Sunday. Padres improved to 16-6 on the year, and now they head on to Detroit to continue this 6-game road trip. We'll have more on that game in Detroit, that series opener, coming up in just a matter of minutes. We'll also hear our play of the game in just a moment as well. But first, let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
We take a look at scores from around the major leagues. White Sox beat the Red Sox 8-4 at Fenway Park earlier today. Andrew Vaughn, a 2-run home run in that game for the White Sox. Reds beat the Orioles 24-2 in Baltimore. 24 runs on 25 hits for the Reds. Imagine being the Orioles today. 24-2 on the road. Orioles had that score against them at home. Guardians beat the Pirates 5-4 in Pittsburgh. The final in 10. Kyle Manzardo, a 2-run home run in that game for the Guards. Marlins beat the Phillies 7-5 in 10 innings in Philadelphia. Phillies had a late lead in that game, coughed it up. Marlins went on to win it in 10. Braves 6, Twins 2 in Atlanta. Drake Baldwin, a home run in that game for Atlanta. Mariners and the Blue Jays in Toronto. Mariners beat the Blue Jays 8-3. Royals beat the Tigers in 10, 4-3. Yankees beat the Rays 4-0 in Tampa Bay. Cody Bellinger, a home run in that game for the Yankees. And if you missed it, we talked about this earlier in the pregame. Max Fried had a no-hitter into the 8th inning in that game, only to see it officially end when the official scorer in Tampa reversed an error to a hit from back in the 6th inning. Now, Fried gave up an actual hit in that inning a little bit later, but it actually ended on the official scoring change. It was unbelievable. Can't happen, in my opinion. Mets beat the Cardinals 7-4 in New York. Francisco Lindor, a home run in that game for the Mets. Brewers beat the A's 14-1. In Milwaukee, Brewers stole 9 bases in that game. Yes, 9 stolen bases for Milwaukee in that one. Diamondbacks beat the Cubs in 11, 3-2. Josh Naylor, RBI single, a big hit in that 11th inning to propel the Diamondbacks to a win. Dodgers beat the Rangers 1-0 in Arlington. Doubleheader today between the Nationals and the Rockies. Nationals won game 1, 3-2. Rockies won game 2, 3-1. And the Angels beat the Giants 5-4. How about this? Joe Adell, a walk-off RBI, or I should say, walk-off bases clearing double. Giants were leading 4-2. Joe Adell came up, bottom of the 9th inning, bases loaded, cleared the bases with a double. Angels win it 5-4. Angels are 11-10 on the year. And that is a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Sunday. Let's hear today's play of the game.
The line between winning and losing can be razor thin. Which play was the difference between victory and defeat? This is today's play of the game, presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
First pitch, and Tatis gets a breaking ball, hits it in the air, deep to center field. Myers is back at the wall. This one, gonna go! Fernando again! A go-ahead solo shot with 2 outs in the 7th inning. And the Padres lead it 3-2. He is homered for the second consecutive night, and he has scored all 3 Padre runs here today.
Fernando with a big swing in the 7th inning, his 8th home run of the season, a deep home run to left center at Daikin Park in Houston. Made it 3-2. Go-ahead shot. Padres go on to win by that final score. And as Jesse alluded to, Fernando scored all 3 runs in this game. One in the first, one after a triple in the third, and the home run in the 7th inning to break the 2-2 tie, give the Padres the lead for good. That's our play of the game on this Sunday as the Padres win it 3-2. They improve to 16-6 on the season. Astros drop to 10-11. As always, if you missed any portion of our post-game coverage, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast with Sam Levitt, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcasts. Or if you would rather go back and watch any portion of our post-game coverage, you can do that on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Taking a look ahead to tomorrow, Padres continue this 6-game road trip with the start of a 3-game series in Detroit, Michigan against the Detroit Tigers. Tomorrow's first pitch at 3:40 p.m. Our EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show will begin at 2:40. Starting pitching matchup tomorrow for the Padres, right-hander Randy Vasquez, and for the Tigers, right-hander Keider Montero. Taking a look at the final totals on this Sunday in Houston. For the Padres, 3 runs, 10 hits, no errors. They left on 8. For the Astros, 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. They left on 7. Winning pitcher was Alec Jacob, who improves to 1-0. Losing pitcher was Taylor Scott, who drops to 1-2. And the save goes to Robert Suarez, his 9th of the season. Robert now a perfect 9 for 9 in save opportunities this year. Time of game, 3 hours and 11 minutes, and the crowd at Daikin Park in Houston, Texas, 31,940. Once again, first pitch tomorrow at 3:40 p.m. Our pregame coverage begins at 2:40. Until then, for our great studio coordinator, Kyle Ovenshire, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long and good night from inside our San Diego studios. Again, the final score tonight, the San Diego Padres 3 and the Houston Astros 2. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Padres Radio Network. Have a great night, everybody.